Welcome to Adult Literacy, Part 1, The Names of the Letters. I'm Trainer Laurie. Why learn the names of the letters? So that you can understand what I'm talking about in future training. So you can get to know the look of the letters, and I'll give you some ways to help you remember. Please know you can watch this again over and over again as needed until you have these memorized. This is the American alphabet. This is a complete set of letters that it takes to make up all the words in English that we use in America. We read from left to right, and we always start in the top left corner of the page. So I'm going to read this alphabet to you from left to right. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. I'm showing you the alphabet in three different styles of letters. The first one are capital letters. You will mostly see these at the beginning of sentences and names. We'll talk more about that in a future training. The second one is lowercase letters. You'll see that for the most part. Almost all words will be made up of lowercase letters. The third one is what handwriting or cursive writing might look like. It is a little confusing, so I'll only introduce you to that in this session. After that, we won't be using it, but I just want you to know that the shapes of the letters might look a little bit different if somebody is writing them by hand. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Did you notice that I said it with a cadence, a rhythm? And that helps you remember it. We're going to actually teach you a song that helps us learn the names of the letters, and it uses the same rhythm. But that will help you remember it so it'll stick in your head better. Now let's look at each of the letters individually. This is the letter A. Capital A looks like three sticks, two that touch across the top and one that makes the line in the middle. But the lowercase, notice it has two very different looks. One looks like a circle with a stick on the right. The other looks like a loop with a hook on the top. The reason that we have developed the second A is because it's easier to read in the alphabet. So sometimes you'll see it as the first A, but that'll be very rare anymore. Mostly you'll see it as the second one. So look for that hook on the top and then that oval bowl on the bottom instead of just the circle with the stick on the side. And on one you can see it still has the oval with the stick down the side, but it has a loop so that it can connect it to the next letter. This is the letter A. This is the capital A and the lowercase a next to each other so that you can see in proportion the size. We will see that all capital letters go from the top line to the bottom line, whereas the lowercase letters will vary in size, but essentially they only go up to about halfway of the capital letter. This is the letter B. The capital B has a stick and two humps on the side. You can see the lowercase letter is a circle with a stick on it. This time, the stick is on the left side. Do you see how confusing it could be with the letter A? Because they do look very similar. So this is a B, and the cursive handwriting, again, you can see kind of a stick, but it is angled, and again, it has loops so that it can connect to the next letter. The capital next to the lowercase, you can see they both reach the top line. The letter C. The capital C and the lowercase c look almost exactly alike, and the cursive has a little bit of a loop so that it can connect to the next letter. But notice when we compare the two, the lowercase c is smaller. But C is one of the easiest letters to recognize because it looks the same, capital and lowercase. The letter D. The capital D is a stick with it looks kind of like a B, only instead of two lumps on the side, it only has one. And the lowercase d looks a lot like an A, a lowercase a. Again, this is why we changed the A. Only notice the stick goes a little higher than on the A. The cursive handwriting, you can see it has an angle and a loop. And when you compare the capital to the lowercase, they both go to the top line. This is the letter E. The capital E has four sticks, one going up and down and three going to the side. The lowercase looks completely different except for that line in the middle, so that might help you remember it. So it's closed at the top and open at the bottom. The cursive handwriting, do you see how similar it is? And you can see that the capital E and the lowercase e are two different sizes. This is the letter F. F looks a lot like an E, only instead of having three sticks down the side, it only has two. The lowercase f looks a little bit like the uppercase F, only it's more angled. It has a curve instead of a straight corners. And you can see the cursive is very long. If you look at the capital next to the lowercase, they both go all the way to the top line and the bottom line. The letter G. G looks like a circle with a bit of a hook in the middle. It's kind of like an upside down E, lowercase e, but it's just a little bit different. The lowercase g has a hook that extends down below the bowl. And the cursive handwriting, you can see it extends a long way down. But let's look at the capital and the lowercase together. You can see that the capital goes to the top of the line, of the top line, and the lowercase goes below the bottom line. That's called a descender. So when it goes below the line, it's called a descender. And that one goes below the line, the lowercase g. The letter H. The capital H has two sticks with a crossbar. It almost looks like a pull-up bar if you're out in the gym doing some exercises. The lowercase h looks kind of like the uppercase H, only it's curved instead of straight, and it's missing one of the portions of the stick. The cursive handwriting, you can see it still goes up and down, and then again it has that loop so it can connect to the next letter. The capital H next to the lowercase h, they both go to the top line. You can see that. The letter I. The letter I. The letter I can look different depending on the kind of style or font that the letter is written in, depending on how the printer chooses to display it. You can see the first one is just a stick. The second one has those little feet and a little head on the top, and that helps you distinguish it as an I instead of a lowercase l or a 1 or some other letter or symbol. So you might see it either way. That is what makes the capital letter I a little bit confusing. The lowercase I is the first letter that has a dot. Notice it's just a stick, but now it has a little dot at the top. We have a couple of letters like that, but that distinguishes the lowercase I. And you can see the cursive has the loop and the dot as well. And when you see them side by side, like we've seen with all the capital letters, the I goes all the way between the two lines. The lowercase I stops, but the dot makes it a little. The letter J. The capital letter J has a straight line with a hook. It looks almost like an umbrella handle, doesn't it? And the lowercase j is very similar, only it has a dot, just like the I. So this is our other letter that has a dot. The cursive handwriting, you can see that the J extends very low, but it has the dot. And when you compare the two, the capital, of course, goes to the top and the bottom, and the J extends below the bottom line. It has that descender, so it goes below the bottom line. The letter K. The capital letter has three sticks, and it looks like somebody walking to me. So if you look at those sticks and you see that leg sticking out there, you can see that is the letter K. The lowercase looks almost exactly like the uppercase, except the lowercase k is just a little smaller. You can see the cursive there. And now our capital letters next to our lowercase letters, you can see that lowercase is just a little bit smaller, even though it reaches all the way up to the line. The letter L. I like L because that's how my name starts, Lori, L-O-R-I, L. It's a good idea to look at these letters and see which one does your name start with. And maybe you already know that. I hope you know how to write your own name. But if you don't, you can recognize the letters here. And when we learn the sounds of them, maybe you'll be able to tell which one is in your name. The capital L is two sticks, and the lowercase looks an awful lot like a capital I. So you can see what the problem is for some of these letters, and that is why we have different shapes depending on the font. That is the style of writing that the printer uses. The cursive L looks like a tall stick with a loop, of course, and then the capital next to the lowercase. It almost looks like we're saying LI, but it is both L's, one capital, one lowercase. The letter M. The M is three sticks, and you can see how they're connected at the top and the bottom. The lowercase m starts with a straight stick, and then it has two humps. And the cursive handwriting is very similar. When you see them side by side, you can see the lowercase m is shorter, uppercase. The letter N. The N has three sticks, connected at the top and the bottom. The lowercase looks a lot like an M, only it only has one hump instead of two. So M and N are very similar in the look. You can see the cursive with the loops and the capital N next to the lowercase n. The letter O. The capital O and the lowercase o are almost exactly the same, but you can see what the difference is. The capital O is higher. It's a little bit larger than the lowercase o. The letter P. P, the capital P, stick with a loop. The lowercase is very similar. When you look at them next to each other, you can see that the lowercase p has a descender, goes below the bottom line. The letter Q. Q is a very unusual letter and doesn't get used very often. But you can see the Q is a circle like an O, only it has a little stick coming out of it at the bottom. The lowercase looks a lot like an A, doesn't it? So it has a descender. The letter R. The capital has a stick, you can see that, and it looks kind of like a B, a little bit like a B, and a little bit like a K. So you can see it looks like it's walking, but it has the lump on the side, so it looks more like a B. So it's a little combination. The letter R. The lowercase r looks kind of like the uppercase R that's missing a few parts. So if you look at it that way, you might recognize it as an R. The cursive looks completely different. It looks a little bit more like an N. What defines it as an R is that little bit of a hook at the top. And you can see them side by side. The letter S. S looks like a hook. If you've ever tried to hang something from the ceiling, you might recognize the S. The capital and the lowercase look exactly alike, only one is bigger than the other. The letter T. The capital T, two sticks. The lowercase t has a stick with a little bit of a curve to it, and then you can see it has a crossbar too, but it's down a little bit. In this case, the lowercase is very high, but the crossbar is lower. The letter U. And see, it's simply a bowl. So the lowercase is just like the uppercase, only it's a little bit smaller and it has the line down the side. The letter V. And you can see they're almost exactly the same. Two sticks connected at the bottom, the capital and the lowercase. The lowercase is just a little bit shorter. This is the letter W. It says W, but it looks really more like a double V. You can see that it has two V's connected at the top. The capital and the lowercase look exactly alike, only just a little bit smaller. The cursive makes it look more like a double U instead of a double V. This is the letter X. X capital and X lowercase look alike, but of course the capital is bigger. X. This is the letter Y. The capital Y and the lowercase y look similar, except you can see the lowercase y has a little bit of a curve to it. And you can see that the bottom of the Y goes below the line for the descender. And this is the letter Z. Capital Z and lowercase z. The cursive handwriting, you can see that the Z has a descender, but when it's printed, it does not. When I see two Z's together, that means go to sleep. And I certainly hope you have not fallen asleep by learning the names of the alphabet. Let's say them again in order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Were you able to make out which letter was which? Sometimes it's useful to cover up the ones that you're not looking at, so you can only see the ones that you are looking at. When we read left to right. So we see that A first, and then the B second, and the C third, like that. So when you read, you'll be reading your eyes from left to right, top to bottom. So you start on the top left corner and you work your way down. Did you notice that I had a rhythm or a cadence to how I was saying it? So let's look at the alphabet in chunks. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. The reason I said it in cadence like that is because of a song that I was taught when I first learned to read. So I'm going to teach this song to you. Please do not complain about my singing. This is simply to help you learn the letters and the names of the letters. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? Now you get to sing with me. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. It will help you to remember the names of the letters by learning that song. Please listen to it again and again, and I'm sure you can search other YouTube videos for the song with much better voices than mine, but I want you to learn the names of the song. In fact, let's look at your homework. Before you're ready to move on to the next session, please memorize the alphabet names, each letter individually. Learn to say them in order and learn to identify them out of order. It's a good idea to start looking at anything you can that has letters in it and see if you can recognize the letters. That's all we want to do for this session is recognize the letters and know their names. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.